So today I want to share with you 10 free knitting patterns for summer knitting. I don't know about you, but I am geared up for summer knitting. Maybe you've already started your summer knitting and you are almost done and ready to wear that stuff. I am not. I'm a little behind on summer knitting. I'm a little behind on sweaters in general. This what I'm wearing is actually not knitted. This is a purchased item, but I would like to start incorporating more of my own hand knits. All the patterns that I am sharing are either DK weight or sport weight. So we're going to start with the sport weight patterns. I did go ahead and download them and print them out for myself so that I will have them, because currently they are all free as of, this is June of 2025. At some point, these designers or companies that these patterns come from, they could list their patterns for sale on Ravelry is where I found these patterns. So if you like any of these patterns, I suggest you go and you put them in your cart. And well, I guess it's a Ravelry. Most of them are Ravelry downloads. You go to the page and add them to your Ravelry downloads. We're going to start with the first one today by Yarbo. That is the company. And the top is called the Humle top. And this is a top with a lace pattern. Oh, by the way, did I say that pretty much all the patterns have some sort of cabling or lace, and that's just something that I'm really interested in getting started with. Okay, back to the Humle top. I think it means hops in English is what it's on the pattern, or maybe that's how it's pronounced. I am not sure. I tried to find pronunciation for some of these patterns, and I could not. Maybe with more research, but I did look up some of the companies. So this top is a seamless top knitted from the top down, and it has a lace pattern yoke. It has a stockinette body and lace finishing for the lower edge. It includes several options for side shaping, and also the top can either be reversible with the same neck shaping on the front and back. This is gorgeous. If you want to make like a fitted top for, I feel like this would be like a perfect wedding top. Like if you have a lot of weddings you're going to, this would just be gorgeous with a little satin skirt or something along that line. I just thought it was really pretty. So as far as the garment sizing, this goes up to 111 centimeters as the final width. So this is a smaller top. This is not a size inclusive top. But if you are smaller and you love this design, then this is a free option for you. There are 120 projects on Ravelry. Let's move on to our second pattern. Now the second pattern is from the same company, from Yarbo. This top is the Sommarvisa top. And the word vista comes from the Swedish word for summer song. And it's inspired by a ballad or a summer song that is a Swedish song. I did look it up on YouTube, and obviously I can't speak Swedish, but I listened to it and then translated the lyrics. And basically it's talking about just celebrating the wonders of spring and summer. So talking about the flowers blooming and the trees putting leaves on and just all the glorious things of spring and summer that we love. So this top was inspired by this song. This top begins with a provisional cast on. It is knit in the round from the bottom up. The lace trims the lower edge. So it sounds like and looks like you're going to knit the lace after, which is why you need the provisional cast on. Because I'm looking at the pattern. So you probably seam up the shoulders. That might be a Kitchener stitch. I might have to like read through and digest this one before I would consider casting this one on. For the lace, which is nice if you like charts, there is a chart for the lace in the back. Okay, there are, how many projects on Ravelry? Let's see. Currently, there are 51 projects on Ravelry. Let's move on to our third pattern. Now we're going to talk about a pattern designer. Her name is Audrey Borrego. You can find her on Instagram as Yarn Flakes. And let me just tell you, you should be following her. Her stuff is beautiful. I have 2 of her patterns featured today. They are free on Ravelry. I mean, these should be paid for patterns. These are gorgeous patterns. So if you like these next 2 patterns I'm sharing with you, put them in your downloads today. Because her stuff is just beautiful. I'm following her now on Instagram and am going to be watching everything she makes from now on. I really want to make this one. I don't know if my skills are up to par for this lace pattern, but I'm tempted to just try it anyway. Hermeline or Hermeline is a top worked from top down. It features a scoop neckline, short sleeve, caps shaped with short rows. It kind of looks like a dolman sleeve to me. That just kind of, so she must add some extra short rows on the top. And there's a fine lace panel down the center front. She has both charted instructions and written instructions. So if you love charted, I like to see charts, but I also like the written instructions. So this is perfect for me. It can be worn as a summer top or it can be worn as a vest. Another pro, so I could wear it in multiple seasons. You could wear it as a vest during the winter under something long sleeved. Oh, I bet it would look really pretty with a button-up shirt. Okay, she recommends that you use a firm yarn to avoid extra drape on the upper body, probably because there's so much structure in the lace work. She said, should you wish to knit the top in a softer, more elastic yarn like wool, size it down and catch up to the desired bust circumference under the arms. So she's knitting it probably out of a cotton. It doesn't say what the fabric is that she's knitting it out of on this page. And maybe if I looked up that yarn, I would know. So her gauge is 24 stitches by 30 rows. And she is using a 3mm US 2.5 circular needles. Some of the techniques she's using is it's top down, German twisted, knitted backwards loop cast on, shoulders shaped with German short rows, scoop neckline with armholes shaped with make one increases, fine lace panel on the center front, eyelets, simple and double decreases, mock eyelet cables, straight body worked in the round, optional German short row bust dart, and again, the pattern includes charted and written instructions. And let me just tell you this, if you are planning on printing this pattern out, it's like 20 pages long. It's a book. But I don't know about you, I'm very excited to try. That's definitely me in my queue for knitting that one up. There are 184 projects on Ravelry, and don't be surprised if I start one soon. Okay, her next design that's on my list today, and I am not sure how to pronounce this, but we are going to try. Aigues? And this is again by Audrey Barocco. And again, you can find her at Yarn Flakes on Instagram. Some of the techniques she used here are a top down. The upper body is worked flat. The body is joined in at the round at the underarms. It's a straight cropped body. You're going to be picking up stitches. There's 1 by 1 half twisted rib. The lace pattern with eyelets, simple and double decreases, simple cables. Pattern includes both charted instructions and, pattern includes charted instructions only for the lace. Okay, she doesn't have the written instructions for the lace. So if that's a deal breaker, then you might not want to download this pattern. The pattern is, she uses 3.5 millimeter needles with a US 4. This is also a sport weight yarn, as in the last one was as well. So I feel like this would be just really cute over a little tank top. So the largest size is 166 centimeters or 65 inches. So this is a pretty, this can go up to a fairly large size, but it looks like you're going to want a lot of positive ease in this garment. So that's something to keep in mind as well. There are 52 projects on Ravelry at the moment, unless that number goes up. I think I like chevrons. I think that's what it is. There's a lot of chevron pattern. There's a few chevron patterns in this lineup. For our last sport weight free t-shirt of the summer, well, it's not a t-shirt, it's a tank top. This is by Drops. So if you are not a big Drops fan, this might not be for you, but I just thought the lace work on and the design on the front of this tank top is just gorgeous. And it really makes me want it in my wardrobe. I think this would be really pretty under a blazer. If you work in the office, like how pretty would it'd be just to have a plain blazer and have this pretty pop of color with a gorgeous lace design down the front of it. So it's knitted in Drops saffron is what all these samples are made out of. It's not very size inclusive. It only goes up to 130 centimeters or 51 inches. That is the largest size this goes up to. This is worked flat. So the back and front pieces are worked separately, back and forth, and it is worked bottom up. The straps are continued from the front piece and sewn onto the back piece, and then the side seams are sewn together. So if you are not a fan of seaming, this might not be the pattern for you. But if you don't mind that and you want a pretty top, a pretty tank top with a beautiful lace design, this might be for you. There is a chart for the lace work, which is nice. The Smiling Honey Top, I mean, that name, it's happy. It's summer happy. There are 81 projects on Ravelry. So if you want to add to that number, go ahead and cast that on today. If you like knitting pieced garments and seaming them. I'm not sure that's my cup of tea, but it might be worth it for this, maybe. This is a free pattern. You have to go to the Drops website, but if you go to print and you print out the pattern, it prints out in a pretty nice format. And I don't know about you, but I really like having my patterns printed off because I like having them in front of me. So I have all of them in this 3-ring binder so that I can look at them in the garden with you today. Okay, that is our 5 sport weight patterns that are free on Ravelry as of July 2025. Let's move on to the DK weight projects. Now, the first pattern is a pattern I actually saw a long time ago and have never knit it, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But I still love it. I still think it's beautiful, and I still might knit it. Coffee break. I mean, it's good. This pattern is called Diane. It's by the Barocco design team. I absolutely love how the lace comes down over the shoulders. And I think I just really love the dolman style tops. So if that's not your thing, you might not like anything on my video because I have a lot of that kind of style in my lineup. I love this boat neck, and it just feels very feminine to me. The pro is it's gorgeous. The con is literally the construction. Okay, let's talk about the construction before I talk about anything else. So it's worked in one piece from side to side. So it starts with the right sleeve cuff. My brain is ahead of my mouth here for a second. And it ends at the left sleeve cuff. Lower band is picked up and worked down during finishing. So you're going to be seaming the sides. You're going to be working flat. So that's a lot of purling. I don't love to purl. I don't know about you guys, but that is a lot of purling. I'm wondering, like, is there a way? Stay with me for a second. Is there a way that we could do this beautiful lace detail up here and find a way to join in the round without there being a line across your arm, you know, your underarms across your should I say that? So that's my only fear, is if I tried to join in the round, that something like that would happen and I wouldn't like it at all, and then I would have put all this work into it and not enjoyed it. So that, I'm a little hesitant on making this because there is so much purling. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I will make this pattern because I really love how pretty it is. So our finished measurements, it goes up to a 56 inches, and that would be 142 centimeters. That's the largest size. They do recommend 4 to 6 inches of ease, so that's something to keep in mind with those measurements. The gauge is 23 stitches by 32 rows, and they are using, let's see, US size 3 or 3.2 millimeter needles. It does not look like it has any charts, so it's just written instructions. There are 173 projects on Ravelry. All right, the second tee in our DK weight division is by Stephanie Amalswithina. And I'll put her name on the screen as well. This is the Vineyard Tee, and you can also follow her on Instagram. Her name is knitting_alpaca, and she has a lot of progress photos of the different things that she knits. So if you like her style, you like her aesthetic, you might want to follow her as well, because this is a free pattern, and see when she releases new patterns. Some of the features of this top is the lace around the V-neck. and there's I-cord as well. So the Vineyard Tee was named after clear, straight lines of the lace pattern at the neck. She says, it reminded me of vineyards. It's knitted top down, first in rows and later in the round. So after you're done with the shaping of the front, you're joined in the round. So there's two options. You could do puff sleeves or you can just make it a tank top. It looks like she has both written and charted instructions because she has a chart here in the pattern. So that is nice as well. I don't know if I would knit this one for me. I would have to knit the largest size for sure. And then it just depends on how much ease I would want in it. So it goes up to 112 centimeters or 44 inches. There are 13 projects on Ravelry. Does she say her gauge is 20 stitches for 30 rows? So, and this is DK weight yarn. So if that sounds like something you like, this might be a pattern that you're interested in. I just thought it was really pretty, the V-neck, and I was also interested in the designer. I will start following her and see whatever else she is making because it looks like she has been knitting for a long time and has lots of sweaters on her Instagram. All right, for our third pattern, it comes to us from West Yorkshire Spinners, and it is promoting their Elements DK yarn. This is a feather lace yoke top called the Lyra, and the pattern is written by Sarah Hatton. This looks like a beautiful lace yoke. The needle sizes they're using is 3.25 millimeter needles or a US 3, and also a 4 millimeter and a US 6. Looks like there are written instructions. Let's see if there's also, they use wrap and turns. There are not only written instructions, but there's also charts for the yoke. And I just love the little chevrons in there. I thought this would be so pretty for a summer knit. You get a nice DK cotton yarn, and I just think that would look gorgeous. As far as the sizing goes, or even linen, cotton linen blend, that would be so pretty. The largest size is 145 centimeters or 57 inches. It says to fit a chest that's 52 to 54 inches and 132 to 137 centimeters. So that's how much ease they're recommending in there. That looks like 7 or 8 inches of positive ease. This is definitely on my wish list for knitting. I thought this was just a really pretty pattern. If you like the beautiful yoke sweaters, this could be a really pretty summer knit. There are 53 projects on Ravelry. All right, moving on to number 4, DK free knitting patterns. This is the Anya Tee, and this pattern was for Comfort Zone Knits, and it is written by Susie Myers. This pattern is, they've used a bamboo yarn for the sample, and they're using 3.5 millimeters or a US 4. Oh, it is a bamboo rayon cotton blend. That sounds luxurious. The gauge is 22 stitches and 28 rows. One of the projects on this pattern is they turned this top into a dress. And I just think that is such a cute idea. And it was very pretty, like almost an ombre color. So I thought that was really pretty. Okay, so it's basically, it looks like yarn overs is how you're going to get your pattern. This says, after casting on, you'll be increasing stitches for the front and back. When all increases are completed, the top is worked again in the round, all the way down. So this pattern, it finishes at 140 centimeters for the largest size, or 56 inches. It also looks like there is a lot of positive ease in this garment. So depending on how large and loose you want this to fit, you need to keep that in mind. It says it goes up to a 2XL. This is a really pretty pattern. It looks like a very comfortable knit, very breezy for the summertime. So I feel like this would be a good pick. If you want to know, if you're interested in this, there's 128 projects on Ravelry. So if you like to look at other projects that people have already knit and what yarns they have used, there is 128 projects to look at. Sometimes I like to do that. I like to go in and see what other people have made, and it helps me guide my decisions on what yarns I'm going to use. All right, the last project for today, the last pattern. I believe this is called the Hven top. If you look up Hven, it looks like it might be inspired from a Swedish island, or maybe a Swedish whiskey. There's also a whiskey that's named after this as well, or that this might be named after. I'm not sure. But as far as the details about this sweater, it is a simple crop top, which looks good on almost everyone. This one features fine details in the shoulders and edgings. The lower edge has a divided hem that is a bit longer in the back. Of course, you can adjust the top for the length wherever you want. To ensure the garment will hold its shape, you need to block it out rather severely to the given measurements while it is still damp. So that is something to keep in mind if you knit this up. They want you to really stretch the fabric to get the shape that they have in the pictures. So the gauge they have is approximately 19 stitches by 29 rows. The yarn they're using is a blend of cotton, viscose, and linen. It's called Celia. And other yarns they recommend is a soft llama, and it's 100% baby llama. The designer of this top is Maria Bergman. And this just looks like a really cute top. I just thought this might be a really nice summer top to wear. I like sleeveless shirts, but I like to have a lot of coverage. I don't always want a sleeve. Most of the time I want a sleeve. But when I don't want a sleeve, I like that there's a lot of coverage and it's not very showy. This is a cropped, so I would probably make it a little longer for me, but this is a very cute style. I think I really like how the shoulders have a little different detail on them as well. If you want to know how many projects that are on Ravelry, there are 102 projects at this moment of this Hven top. I really love this top. I feel like you could probably also wear it as a vest in the winter, depending on how high that neckline is. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you a little inspiration for some beautiful summer knit tees with some beautiful lace designs, and maybe you found some new designers you like. I don't know, I might have. We'll see. I've got to knit up their sweaters first, but definitely this is some good inspiration for me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I did create a bundle on Ravelry. You can find me at KatieBugKnits Pod on Ravelry. I'll share that below in the description. I just created that I just created that Ravelry account to go with this channel. I have previously been on Ravelry as Katie Crafty Mom, and I also have a channel on YouTube that is Katie Crafty Mom, where I do mostly sewing videos. So if you like sewing, you can find me over there, as well as KatieBugKnits here on this channel. I thank you guys so much for watching, for your support, liking, subscribing. That helps my channel out so much. Please comment below if you enjoyed these patterns. Tell me what pattern you might knit up this summer, or which one you like the most. Most of all, I'm just excited these are free, and maybe we can do some stash busting if you have enough yarn in your stash for one of these projects. I think that's what I'm planning on doing. All right, until next time, thank you, friends. Happy knitting.